Welcome to SB 405D Project Management. My name is Felicia Frida Eden Aqua. We'll be going through session 3, risk analysis, which is in unit 6, project risk and quality management. By the end of this session, you should be able to assign probability and severity or the consequences score to the various project risk you encounter on your project. You should be able to determine the risk threshold, which is based on the product of risk likelihood of occurrence and the degree of potential severity or impact of those just in case they happen. And you're able to calculate risk factors or for your project or the phases of the project you may be on your project. So for us to be able to analyze risk, the varying risk scoring matrices which have been done or have been used to help us grade our risk and score our risk. So the first thing that goes into the metrics is first identifying all the potential risk you can get on your project. So you need to identify and describe the risk. Then you need to go on further to then assign one, the probability of it occurring. And so the probability of occurrence could be high or it could be low. And so ratings like high, low, very high, medium, that one, it depends on you whether you want to go 3 points like it, 4 points, that is up to you. But there are set standards in there. And so for a smaller project, they may not have it maybe like 5 points or 6 points or something. But for larger companies, where larger projects which are more complex, you may have very low, low, medium, high, all those variations could come in. Then once you're able to assign the probability, we need to also assign the severity of impact, just in case it happens. How is it going to impact the project? Is it going to be very severe or is not going to be severe? And so that one too can go with the very low, low, medium, high, and very high as well. So when it comes to the metrics, we see probability, the likelihood of occurring, and then the seriousness of it what's occurring. So over here, we can virtually do our arrow like this and like this. So the top means high, and then the tail means low. So if you're working on a project and it is here, that means that it is very, very you need to keep them very close, like we made mention of earlier in the earlier session. So what the score means, if you have a high, that means the project risk event is extremely and very likely to occur, and its impact is that it's going to affect the cost, especially when it comes to even the schedule of the project. And so for such ones, the it is very important that they should be escalated where possible and reviewed very frequent. And then if it is medium, that means there's a 50-50 chance of it, and then the impact is also going to be half and half. But this one should also be reviewed for their reviewed like frequently, regularly, to see it as well. And then we have the low risk, which is not very likely to happen. And so if it happens, the cost is very low or the impact is very low. In those ones, they can be absorbed by the project. So this is a simple risk scoring matrix which you can use, and like we made mention of what the green means, what the yellow means, what the red means. So going forward, we need to be able to do the project risk factor analysis, which is basically used to compare the threshold and the type of risk which surrounds your project or the activities in your project. And it's basically calculated as RF is equal to PF plus CF minus PF times CF. And where PF is the average risk probability, and then CF is the average risk consequence. So in this session, we've emphasized on risk management, that yes, it's costly, and so there's a need for us to really check it as well. And we made mention of some thresholds for ongoing risk management. We looked at the risk scoring metrics as well as the risk threshold and then the risk factor as well. Thank you very much.